Hi, my beautiful souls. I hope you guys actually saw my post on the community tab. If you didn't, I just want to remind you that I always update and I also sometimes post like inspirational guided messages there that I channel from angels or the divine, but also any updates. Because I know I took about a week and a half, I think, or 2 weeks. I stepped back for a little bit, but if that ever needs to happen, that's where I will post about it. I don't want any of you to think that I just disappeared again. No, I am back, and now I'm officially free. So I'll be here hopefully every day. That is a plan, to the best of my ability, or most days. I just needed some time. I never actually officially, I don't think I did. I remember telling you guys that in the past year, upon my move to the United States, um, fear took over me because of how expensive things have gotten. And I went back to a career that I left a very long time ago, even though this is my soul's purpose. And I don't know if any of you remember, but that was teaching. I am a certified teacher. So I'm a high school teacher, actually. So I went back to that. As you can imagine, the shock of me going into, going back into that profession when the last time that I was ever in a classroom was right before the pandemic hit. I didn't leave because of the pandemic. I made a choice. Well, Spirit actually led me to leave right before it. And it wasn't an accident. They really did save me from a lot. Okay? And it was all meant, and I believe even me going back right now serves a purpose, right? I had to experience that. But anyway, the last couple of weeks, the last 2 weeks of June, which is when the school year ended, the school year just ended this last week. Anyway, it's the busiest time. Finals, grading finals, report cards, meetings, classroom cleanup, you name it. And then my daughter graduated. My nephew graduated. My daughter graduated in 6th grade. My nephew graduated high school, so proud of him. He's going to college. I had a family friend who also graduated, and then I had to attend my school's graduation. It was just back-to-back things. So I consciously stepped back. Literally with the hermit, okay? But I had every intention on being back. Now the school year's over. I still don't feel like I'm completely grounded. But I said, heck, I'm just going to get on here and see what we channel. And I'm sure by tomorrow I'll feel so much better. But that chaotic energy, man, you got to do what you got to do. And it's done. It's done. You know what's interesting, actually, speaking of that, if you're new here, I'm not just talking your head off. The moment I hit record, I start channeling messages. So even in intros or me speaking or catching up with you guys, there's something. It just came to my mind. That's really crazy, actually. It didn't just come to my mind. It just came to my mind now, but Spirit did put this in my mind a few days ago randomly. And I know it's Spirit. Number one, I always know when it's Spirit because I'm a medium. But besides that, it's funny because I said I'm going to, sorry. Because I'm like, even in the intro, right, it's Spirit talking. And as I'm like shuffling, they're like, yeah, it's me. Like with the star card and the sun card, which to me are always the cards of the divine. So they're just confirming their presence. They're like, yeah, it was us. Hello. What I was going to mention was about a judgment. It was about a judgment that I've made, okay, about the collective and the new generation. They brought up to me a freaking reading. I don't even know what reading it was, but they played like a minute of it in my mind. So I know that I said this in some reading. I'm talking maybe freaking 3 to 4 years ago. I don't remember. There's no way I can remember everything I've ever said in readings for years, right? And they just showed a part of it in my mind. And you know what they showed me? I remember. And comment down below if you've been here forever and you remember me mentioning this. I remember. Yeah, and this is exactly what I'm going to talk about. Sorry if I'm not making sense. Spirit, you're going too fast. You're showing cards before I could even explain what you're telling me. My God. Judgment and the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is a battle. So the message they're giving me is about spiritual warfare that's actually happening like intensely right now. And I know that we know that. They showed me a message that I gave a long time ago when I was still teaching before the pandemic. Okay. By the way, I don't think it's an accident that they had me leave the classroom before the pandemic and then leave for years and come right back, because it gave me a lens that I otherwise may have missed. Because you know, when things are changing, but you're in it every day, you may not notice changes. For example, if somebody loses weight, you may not notice if you see them every day, but if there's someone that lost weight that you haven't seen in 6 months, when you first see them, it stands out to you. Like, you're like, whoa, right? Because the last image you have of them in your mind was one, and you just saw them all of a sudden as drastically different. So that was my experience in the classroom. So I remember a message that Spirit gave me a long time ago, and I felt, for whatever reason, guided to share, that I remember before the pandemic how surprised I was that a lot of my high school kids and even middle school kids, because at that time I taught both, I was back and forth between buildings. I'm talking age 14, 15, even 13 and 12, 12 to 15, 12 to 16. Were talking to me without my prompting, right? Because I never then, and I still don't, let anybody know in that professional aspect that I have a channel, because I like to keep my life and my other things very private. I have that line very clear. I don't need people looking me up. It's nobody's business, especially with kids. Got to be careful, right? And I remember mentioning that a lot of them would bring up subjects to me like energy. And they would talk to me about manifesting. And they would talk to me about vibration. And not that we sat down and had full-blown conversations about this, right? That wasn't what I was teaching, and I didn't even bring it up. But in conversation with them, here and there, multiple kids would bring up these topics through whatever they were talking to me at that time, right? Like, oh, I'm going to manifest having an A, I'm going to keep my vibration high. Like, these are things that would come out of their mouth. And I remember in a reading years ago saying how that's so surprising, and that's great, because it's showing us that we are raising the vibration of this planet, and we're doing so, and we are achieving, and that's ultimately what our goal has always been. But what happens every time that we try to do that? What happens? What happens? Five of Wands. Here comes that negative energy trying to literally beat it out of the collective. Because the devil energy, in whatever way that manifests, okay, wants to keep everybody oppressed. And I'm telling you this because my experience in the classroom this year is such that, I mean, all of that I shared, like, it's the opposite. Okay? They have gone backwards in so many ways. Okay? But there definitely was no awareness of energy or frequency or manifesting or anything. Actually, what I noticed is that most of them are engulfed in devil energy at such a young age without even realizing it. They are so addicted to TikTok and trends and social media, etc., that they don't even have time for or space to allow or even be interested in learning about keeping their vibration high and energy and frequency and manifesting or any kind of topics of this nature. And I think that was done on purpose. Okay? Because they didn't, it's like, it wasn't just beat out of them, so to say. They've actually gone backwards. Okay? I mean, the amount of devil energy that I have seen in a classroom this year, it was a shock. the level of disrespect, entitlement, no desire to learn, to correct behaviors. They cannot self-soothe at all unless they have a phone glued to their face, being able to swipe through TikTok and Snapchat. And the only thing and most of them, I'm not going to say all of them, but a big portion of them, they're only consuming garbage. And I think that Spirit brought me back with the Eight of Swords, literally. Look, that energy. Boom. Magician in reverse is that manipulation of energy, that spiritual warfare. The Eight of Swords, keeping people in a self-imposed imprisonment of their own mind. I feel like that, or at least whenever I say I feel like, it's actually the divine sharing that with me. It's the devil fighting hard to stop us from our goal of raising the vibration of this planet, especially when kids are the future. I mean, it was so shocking to me, right? A lot of them were just starting to wake up, and now they are very more asleep than ever. I had to share that. I had to share it. The divine wanted me to be aware of that. The divine wanted me to share that. Maybe if you are a parent yourself, it's a way of the divine bringing this to our awareness, just to let you know, like, you don't have to shove concepts into the minds of your children, etc. Children are children, let them live. But let's try our best to instill a level of consciousness into them, right? Kind of teach them about spirituality one way or another, because I mean, we could see it all around us. The spiritual warfare, the battle that's going around, is very intense. And I knew it was going to happen, because there's always a fight when we're ascending. Sorry, I didn't intend for that to take like 13 minutes, but nonetheless, I'm telling you, if you don't want to hear it, I mean, maybe I'll timestamp it, but the divine's telling me not to, because it was part of what they wanted to share, because with the Four of Swords and that bed there, they just, it's like a lot of the world it was like put to sleep, basically. Right when they were waking up, they were like, no, go back to bed while we destroy the planet, basically. That's what the devil energy is trying to do. But the divine always wins. The divine always wins. Okay. Let's see what we get here. Also, since like it's been so hectic, I still haven't fully even gathered my energy yet. Right? I feel like by tomorrow I'll be okay. Meaning like I always pick up energy right before readings, but this time there was like a blockage, and maybe that is the energy. There was a blockage. I wasn't sure what I was picking up on, but that's because I just went through a really chaotic week. So, but the divine said, just do a reading. We'll tell you what to do. And a lot of times, actually, when I feel that energy, it's Archangel Michael that comes through, actually. Yep, that's Archangel Michael. And he wants me to pull one of his own cards. You know why Archangel Michael does that? He's a very dominant energy, and he likes to fight with my shadow. My shadow is learning how to let go of control. Meaning, yeah, I'm always picking up on messages, but I don't have to know what I'm going to pick up on before I hit record. So he really, really brings that shadow of mine into my awareness. He wants to say something here. What do you want to say? A favorable outcome. Okay. Thank you for the beautiful outcome to the situation, which is perfect and fair for everyone involved. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for helping me trust and have faith. I think Archangel Michael is letting us know that, you know, as a planet, we are gonna reach balance at some point, even though it seems like it's not there. The divine's really fighting for us. The divine's really fighting for us. But besides that, okay, I don't really know. This is gonna be different for whoever's watching. But if you needed a very clear yes or no off the bat, this is a yes to whatever your question was. Not sure what that question was. He's telling me it's different for everyone, but he just wants you to know that you're going to have a favorable outcome. So there you go. What else? Whoa, that came out heavy. The Five of Wands again. Okay, we have some kind of conflict here that's going on. A big conflict. Everyone's fighting each other, but it doesn't seem productive. Because sometimes people, oh my God, I split the deck, you saw the devil? Man. Archangel Michael's like, yeah, no, that message that you channeled about the kids in the beginning, even though we wanted you to share that detail, that's still part of the energy. So, okay, I see what's going on here. Okay, yeah. It's fighting devil energy one way or another. Now this is going to transfer into how this energy is affecting you personally, right? But holy confirmation. If you see this Five of Wands, some people read the Five of Wands as also working together and fighting together towards a common goal, but no, not here. Not here. If you look at this image, like they're all looking to beat each other with these wands. But what's the point of that? You're all going to hit each other. You're all going to fall to the ground. Like there is no way that there's one clear winner. Basically, okay. With the devil here, I'm hearing that people have been pinned against each other. People have been pinned against each other. How is this relating to your life personally now? Archangel Michael, can you calm my energy? Because I almost feel like agitated from the moment, like right now. So I feel maybe some of you have gone through this or going through this. Did you recently go through some kind of conflict? If you didn't, then maybe a conflict is brewing. Like devil energy out of nowhere has just hit you. Maybe you were going down the path of change and things were going really well, and then out of nowhere you feel like people are going against you or things have just been going bad. Pointless arguments, pointless conflicts. There's a devil in the mix though, like an actual person is what I'm getting. There is a person here. It's like the mastermind that has been triangulating people against each other. Who the hell, you know, and there have been arguments between maybe you and friends or you and a love partner, but there's an instigator. But you know what I'm getting? I think you just started to realize that. There was like somebody purposely trying to lower the vibration of everybody around them. Who needs people like this in their circle, man? And I'm getting it's the one that seems the most innocent. As I said, look, with the Seven of Cups, I just split the deck. The Seven of Cups is all about illusion, delusion. It's literally a mastermind. And again, look at the image. It's just like one person, one mind. With every single one of these, playing with the emotions of all of these people. I tell this person this, I tell this person that, I tell this person this, I tell this person that, I tell this person this, I tell this person that. This person gets their energy literally by creating conflict. The divine needs you to bring that to your awareness so that you can shield yourself from this devil energy that is manifesting in this person, because it's trying to lower your vibration. Going back to everything that they shared in the beginning, I mean, it all goes hands in hand. Okay? These people have always existed, but now people that are deeply in their shadow and connected to devil energy are like fighting more than ever to create issues, especially with people that are spiritually minded. Because, like I said, the devil's goal when everybody is ascending is to make you descend, to oppress you. It's all an illusion, Seven of Cups, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need to give this person power. I need more information, though. You know, I can speak about this energetically, philosophically, but I want like the details today. Like, what is this about? Okay. Listen, I just split now. We have the Ten of Cups in reverse. The Ten of Cups in reverse is like literally a relationship that's upside down, a family situation that's upside down. Somebody trying to cause issues within your relationship, whether now or in the past. Somebody literally trying to cause separation. It also could be an energy, you know. It could also just be an energy. That energy is out there trying to destruct positive things. Like the Ten of Cups upright is everything that you could wish for, you know? Happy home, happy life, happy relationship, with or without kids. Not everybody wants kids, but nonetheless, this image shows it, right? Everyone's ecstatic. This devil energy doesn't want that. Of course not. This is a woman. This is a woman that's causing problems. It could be a mother energy, a mother-in-law energy. Notice how everything, this deck is it's very colorful. It has a lot of color. But the image of this person is black and white. So it's like done in the shadows. This could literally be also somebody that has, for some of you, and I'm very careful how I say that, has done spell work to enslave a man and a woman. It says enslaved woman, enslaved man. Like create conflict. I will, like, you know what I mean? Like I wish conflict on them. Either a mother, mother-in-law, or an ex. Whether they know you or not. For a lot of you, I'm getting they do. It was like on purpose because they don't like you. Either they don't like you or they don't want to see this other person that you were dealing with. They don't want to see them happy. Period. And they've tried multiple times. Right? If you had issues with somebody in the past, it could be somebody that's connected to them, that's manipulated this person's mind so much that it was impossible to have some kind of connection with them because they have that, like that mother wound, or that wound from definitely a female in the 3D that stops them from being able to, it enslaves them. Listen, the first card that comes out is always the most significant. It's crazy because when I was shuffling and channeling that message in the beginning, we started with the Five of Wands and it came out again. That's twice this big energy. That's conflict. I need more. What the heck is this about? Like, what is this? Man. What? Queen of Cups, Six of Swords in reverse. The Queen of Cups is supposed to be beautiful energy, but what is up with her face? I'm sorry, I'm kind of mind blown because this image back here, I had a wall in my house where I used to live that actually looked just like that. So that's kind of crazy for me. I think that was also a message for me. Listen, the Queen of Cups is supposed to be the very loving, nurturing person. She's all put together. No one would ever assume that the Queen of Cups would do anything to harm anybody. How lovely she looks. But I don't know if the device is going to focus on her face. Because sometimes when I upload videos, they lower the quality. But I don't like her facial expression. Are you getting the energy I'm getting from that facial expression right there? She looks like, it's like the ha 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 ha. I got them right where I want them. Like, I'm sorry, but she looks like the devil. She looks like the devil. Like, how do you look so proper and nice on the outside, but then you're just sitting there by yourself with this psychopathic grin on your face? Like, what is wrong with you? With the Six of Swords in reverse, the Six of Swords, when it's upright, means moving forward towards calmer waters. But when it's in reverse, it's blocking that from happening. It's blocking that from happening. Okay? Blocking that from happening. You know what's interesting? I don't ever read from the book, but I listen to spirit. That I do. And the spirit says, there's something in the book that I need you to read, Six of Swords. And this book doesn't even talk about reversals. It doesn't. But there's something in the Six of Swords upright they want me to read. The Six of Swords is related to the Eight of Cups. They both represent variations on a nighttime journey. The journeyer in the Eight of Cups is searching for something, but the journeyer in the Six of Cups is fleeing something. The image shows a woman with a child wrapped in a shawl, as though hiding from anyone who might see them as they escape. The woman steering the boat may be a friend of the woman's. I just got chills. Whoa. And she may merely be a hired pilot. The enormous sword looming on the riverbank are the woman's thoughts that plague her as she attempts her escape. Holy ish. That's why they had me read this book. Because I've never read, an explanation like that in regards to the Six of Swords. But, like, that was, like, very specific. In reverse, it's like somebody was trying to escape something, and this woman blocked that. Two things. They either blocked somebody from being able to escape something, or they are the reason that you fled. Maybe they pretended to give you advice. Not everybody has your best interest in mind. Telling you, like, yeah, cups is all about emotion. Like, so that means somebody was trying to connect with you on an emotional level. Like, yeah, you should leave this situation. This is not good for you. Why are you here? Leave. But really, it was like this person's tied to some kind of devil energy somehow. It's like they were just trying to get in your head because they're not happy in their own freaking life. is what I'm getting. This is very complex. This is not the type of reading I wanted to do, Divine. Like, why do you always got to put me in the situation, like in the position? Why can't I be the reader that that can touch on all these like lovey-dovey? I never get it. I mean, I do get it. I know why. There's all these readers that I don't know what happened on YouTube. That's another video I got to make. But just be careful who you watch. Okay? There's so many readers where, like, you can tell, like, is it really, what are they channeling when every single reading of theirs is all about, it's the same message over and over. You have someone that's a secret admirer. He's coming back. There's reconciliation over and over. And they get the most views because they're playing with people's shadow, right? With their bondage energy. That's what's going on. They're taking advantage of that. Be careful who you watch. Those are not true readers. Those are not true readers. They are here to take advantage of the algorithms, is what they're doing. Or they are reading, they are projecting their own, bondage energy onto readings over and over again and having you hooked on that. But Spirit always has to, has me share the messages that, nobody wants to hear. Like, the real stuff. Right? The stuff a lot of people, unfortunately, go on YouTube to escape from. And then they put me here to share the stuff that people are trying to escape from. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's my purpose. Listen, I don't like this person. This person's manipulative, calculating. They look nice on the outside. This is that person. People really, they look at them, they think, oh, she would never do anything to harm anybody. Who, her? Of course not. She's such a sweetheart. She goes to church every Sunday. Those are the worst ones. I'm going to put it out there. If that resonates with someone, those are the worst ones. Nothing against. Listen. Those are the worst ones. The ones that go to church every Sunday. You can't tell me otherwise. They're the worst ones. They hide because they feel like they have a shield because of that. A shield. For all the devil energy, everything all the shit they're doing to people's lives. This is that kind of person. Who, her? She would never. Oh my God, the fakeness. This person, I don't know. I'm not sure. What role are they in your life? Is this a mother-in-law? Who is this? Because your relationships have always been upside down because of this person. You haven't been able to escape it. Every time that you're about to escape it, they block you from escaping their energy. Is this a mother wound or is this a physical person in your life? This is what I'm trying to figure out. Because right now you're battling the shit out of that devil because you're trying to ascend. That is what we started talking about since the beginning. This person, it's like they stop you from having connections. They break romantic connections and they break them apart, but they also stop you from being able to move forward and heal. They feed off that energy. They're in between you being stuck and unable to move forward and the relationship upside down. They're in between there, like sipping their damn tea. What is that? What just fell on the floor? Justice on the floor. Hold on. Well, that's a good card to come up. Justice. Major Arcana 11. Nice and big. Number 11. Oh. Well, the Divine's bringing justice to this situation one way or another. That, or with these pillars here, now I gotta turn off the air conditioner. I'm sorry, because now I'm cold. See, that's what happens. Bear with me, guys. I'm telling you, I told you before I started that my energy was like I couldn't put my mind off. I couldn't put my finger on why my energy was so. I don't know. It's just different today. I don't know. The justice could be the justice system too. This could be somebody that brought you to some kind of brought you some legal trouble. But whenever I see justice at the end of the day, it means to me that an injustice was once existed. You cannot have just the justice card if an injustice did not exist. So justice is justice is coming. The Five of Pentacles. Okay. Okay. What is the deal? What's the deal with the constant over and over again, guys? Over and over again. It's the theme of the woman with the baby. Remember, they had me read the Six of Swords again. It was the message of the woman and the baby. The woman and the baby. There's the woman and the baby again. Maybe that's going to be for someone specific. Number one. Number two, there's a church back there. I also mentioned that those are the worst, right? The ones that go to church every day. The Five of Pentacles is the energy of lack. The Five of Pentacles is financial hardship. It came out of the Justice card, though. It came after the Justice card. Okay, which means to me, this could be somebody that pinned people against each other and somehow that affected you financially. Or the divine is saying, listen, once and for all, maybe you're having, this could be from multiple people. One message that I'm getting also is, listen, if you are somebody with a child and you're afraid of moving forward because you're not sure how you're going to make it financially, you got that fear. I want you to know the divine's going to help you figure that out. You have to turn that Six of Swords forward, put it upright, not in reverse anyway, and get away from this situation and this person that is toxic as hell into your life. I'm being called again to read from the book, which is interesting. I don't usually do that. And this reading is also, I'm trying to put my finger on it. I told you, I don't know. I have a feeling that, this is going to make sense for who it makes sense. For who it's for. Okay? You're going to be okay. You have to get away from this energy, though. And I want you to know that whoever there's conflict with, okay, they've been manipulated. Okay, this person, whoever this Queen of Cups is has gotten into their minds and they're enslaved by it. So if no one else is going to see the light, you need to see the light, even if it's just you. And if you have a child, even if it's just you and your child. And you might be you might be scared. Okay. The divine got you. Whatever this is, I want you to step away from this energy. Because how is it possible that there's this one person looking all, they look wealthy, their outfit, you could just tell the way that they're put together, the chair, the ambiance, what they have in their home, the shoes. And then here you are. Again, the image of you and the baby, covered in rags, in the Five of Pentacles, trying to escape on a boat, while this person's doing just fine. If this is about a child, I don't know, maybe this could be an ex or maybe their mother saying, like, don't send them money. They don't deserve it. Or, trying to, it's crazy that somebody would say that. Let's say this is maybe your child's grandparent. Like, why would a grandparent want the worst for their grandchild? But this person has some really dark energy like that, right? This could be for one person, the Justice card. If you have to go through the justice system, okay, and file for child support, do it. I don't care. do it. It's to protect you, because this person, there's a nasty person involved that's going to affect you. That could just be for one person, and that doesn't matter. But somebody that needed to hear that, that if somebody manipulated you into thinking that that's going to bring conflict and you're afraid of that, okay, it might be difficult for the first couple of months, but eventually you will learn that all it is a way to mediate when you have people around you that you cannot mediate with, or that live their life based off control. Okay? It will help in the long run, and you have to think about what's best for you and your family. Because you cannot live your entire life constantly fighting and having thoughts all over the place. With the Seven of Cups is Five of Wands, and having an unhealthy relationship, or being unable to move on, and constantly back and forth, because you haven't set clear boundaries with this energy. Boundaries need to be set, because justice needs to be served now for you. Five of Pentacles, halfway through the suit, and things are not getting any better for our journeyer. She is now an unwed single mother, clad in rags, alone in the big city on a winter's night, being followed by a man with an unknown agenda. Wealth is all around her. Pentacles flash in on a neon sign over her head. This is a card about hitting rock bottom, with your arms filled with mounting pressures and threats right behind you. And yet, the card also suggests everything you need is all around you. You just need to figure out how to get it. Exactly. I'm telling you, this is gonna if you're here, there's something in this message for you anyway. So take what is for you and leave the rest. But either way, I don't believe in accidents. Either way, if you clicked record, there's something in this energy for you. Okay? I told you. What does it say? It's like there's a threat right behind you all the time. What the hell? You can't be living like that. The illusion is that you can't make it on your own. The illusion is that you can't bring justice to yourself in this situation. The illusion is that you can't move on. Why do you need somebody that doesn't have clear intentions with you? That's that person in the back they were talking about. Constantly in your energy field, or stalking you, or telling you what to do, what you can do, what you can't do, when you don't know what their place is in your life and they're not really benefiting you. Who deserves that? A boundary needs to be set. Okay? And I don't want you to fall prey to this victim mentality. It sucks. I get it. You hit rock bottom. I want to give you a hug. But you know what? Don't stay there too long. Because the message is, there's a way out all around you. Justice is all around you. You hit rock bottom. You're not sure where to go, how to get, okay. But the more you separate from this energy, the clearer, the more clear your energy fields will be. And therefore the light of the divine will be able to shine through you, and give you the ideas and point you in the directions you need to go to find that love that you need, to make that money that you need. At whatever the case may be, to find that house that you're trying to find, or apartment, or whatever you need, the support system you need, whatever, even if it's hard in the beginning. Ultimately, that's the message I kept getting, right? Even if it's hard in the beginning, you have to go down this path, even if it's scary. What you can't do is allow this like threat to walk behind you all the time. And that threat, however this resonates for you, is related to somebody you haven't set a boundary with. For some of you, it could be literally an ex that you're not even with. Why are you fighting with someone that's not giving you commitment? Why are you fighting with someone that you don't know that doesn't know what they want in the future with you. That's an example if it's an ex. Why are you fighting with yourself or having all these issues energetically with someone from the past that has never made an effort towards you? Keeping yourself constantly hitting rock bottom, etc. No, it's time to set a boundary with that energy and understand you don't need to be mixed with this energy. You don't need to live in a state of constant confusion or being unable to allow healthy relationships in and being unable to move forward and constantly being in the fear, some threat of like losing everything or, you know, because when you're in the energy of not setting a boundary with whatever this energy is that's keeping you in the dark or not letting you move forward or manipulating you or did manipulate, whatever this is, whatever, okay? That's you allowing yourself to connect with somebody else's shadow and their dark energy and their energy of lack. And then by default, you're aligning yourself to that vibration. And that's why you keep hitting rock bottom and things happen, because you're connecting with someone that's in a lack mentality. So then you're attracting lack. The divine needs you out of there. The divine needs you out of there. The divine's going to support you. Okay? The divine's going to support you. Listen, for some of you very specifically, and I'm going to say it again, I said it a lot of times, but babies are important. I'm a single mother myself. I know what the fear is when you have a child of like doing the wrong thing or cutting off the family of the other family of the child or putting boundaries with the father or the mother. I know that's hard. But I promise you, you're not giving anything positive to your child by staying in something unhealthy or allowing somebody to walk all over you on a regular basis or just keep you around or not committing to you or cheating on you on a regular basis. You don't give anything to a, you know, I'm going to bring this up because that the energy of children was here from the beginning. The moment I hit record, I started talking about my students. And now that the energy of children came up with the Six of Swords and the Five of Pentacles. So even if this message is for one person, either way, there's something in here for everyone. But even if this message is for one person in regards to the children, I know that could be your fear. But you do not give anything to your child by allowing this devil energy into your life. And then you know what happens? Equal to the example that I gave you. Instead of being able to share with them how to ascend, you're actually descending your own children into devil energy in their future, because you are exposing them to devil energy and that becomes their norm. Take that as an example. There's no accident in what they have me channel. You do more harm. All that fake ideology that we stayed for the kids, that's bullshit. The only thing that you do by staying for the kids is affecting the kids and then creating generational trauma, because kids will repeat what you showed them, and the boundaries that you didn't set are the boundaries that they won't set either. Unless, of course, they become the unicorn that breaks, you know, generational curses. But why do you even want to push them through that? Be the strength to do most of that work for them. Don't get stuck in your fear of lack. You got to start somewhere. You make it happen. You're not. When I went through the things that I went through and I felt years ago, my daughter's already almost 12, if you believe it or not. Wow. In the beginning, when she was a baby, and I used to allow way too much and got stuck in negative energy, my mom would only say one thing. Hey, she would say, you're not the first and you're not going to be the last. What does she mean by that? It sounded kind of harsh, but what she meant was, it sucks, but don't feel like you're the only person that has ever had to, you know, has gone through something so difficult. Not to minimize what you're going through, But you're not the first and you're not going to be the last, meaning devil energy exists. It happens. It is your choice not to want to get stuck in it. You're not the first person to have to deal with the devil, right? And you're not going to be the first person that was able to get out of it after hitting rock bottom or dealing with financial difficulties and fear. You're not the first one. You're not going to be the last. You can do it. That's for somebody, okay? Absolutely. I just put the deck. I'm sorry. Listen, when the divine wants to give a message, even if it's for one person, I'm sorry. Like some of you are like, I don't even have kids, but it's for someone. Because the Six of Cups is literally a child. It's children. There's a boy and a girl there, period. And then there is the Strength card, just to remind you how strong you are. You're not the first. You're not going to be the last. You'll get yourself through it. The divine got you. That's the child thing is specifically for for maybe a couple of you, one or two, I don't know. But it was heavy from the moment I hit record. From the moment I hit record. Remember, the devil will do anything that it can to keep people oppressed. You know better than that, though. You were put here as part of the collective that's going to help everyone ascend. Don't fall prey to this. Right? But some of you, the energy of childhood is about your own childhood. And this manipulative person is somebody that lives deep in your own subconscious. It could be a mother energy. It could be a mother wound. It could be somebody that did this to you as you were a child. And like, I know that you're sick of hearing the same message about generational trauma but the reason it comes up so much is because it's the hardest shit to heal. You will be trying to get out of this your whole life. My parents are in their late 70s and I look at them and I still see their trauma play out. A lot of it while they're unconscious of it playing out. Hey, but this blew out. So take this as an analogy. The divine's giving you the light to clear this energy and the light to be able to see. Don't fall victim to these same energies. And for some of you, there's also a message now that they're bringing parents into this. You're being called to look at your parents. Ooh, I just smudged this table with the ashes all over my hand. Wow. That's a message within itself. I know, but you take that as however you want to take it. For some of you, you're being called to look at your parents or the memory of your parents in a different way. It's the energy of grace. I'm not here to victim shame. That's terrible. People that do that, depending on how severe they harmed you. If we're talking about something like, I don't have to give examples. You know what? If it's something like unforgivable, right? I get it. However, I'm not saying like you need to talk to them if they did something really extreme, right? But remember that forgiveness is for you. Okay? Forgiveness is for you because the thing is, you're still enslaved by this energy. And I think that you know that, but it keeps coming back. It keeps replaying into your life. And every time this energy comes back, it does the same thing. It gives you some kind of like anxiety, energy, starts affecting your relationships. It stops you in your tracks when you're trying to move forward. It brings you back. It's like you keep going into justice and then back into this lack energy. And the divine saying, please remember that you have to tame this beast. I know that this beast lives within you. It's you can't erase memory. It's always, but you have to constantly tame that beast. The Strength card being under the devil. Okay? You have to do that consciously. You're being called to look at them in a different light. What do I mean by that? Forgiveness is for yourself. So instead of getting angry that they're acting like this or they're like this or they're manipulative, they're narcissistic, whatever, okay, that sucks. We but see them with some grace. Step back and say and recognize, instead of, things change for you. You're able to forgive when you are able to see them as a child, right? Whenever they act a certain way or whatever, be like, well, they're like that because they went through some shit. Their own parents treated them really bad. And unfortunately, they stayed, enslaved. It kind of starts to make you feel bad for them instead of getting angry or taking it personally, like they're trying to attack you. They might literally be trying to do something to harm you. But if you're able to create that boundary and live with that boundary, it won't affect you even if they try. And then you feel bad for them. That's what forgiveness is about, because you're able to see, dang, they still have to act like this. They're never going to heal. And that's so sad. I don't have to allow that to affect me. But you're able to see that how unfortunate it is that they grew up to be this kind of a person because they were never given a chance. If it's a parent that never gave you enough love, understand that they didn't know how because they were not loved. How awful is that? You're able to see them a little bit different. You're able to give them some more grace. That's for some of you, okay? Whatever it is, there's some kind of conflict in regards to children, childhood, or something of your past that requires strength. The strength to tame the beast and to move forward into your power, into the energy of allowing to receive. Sometimes it feels like you're hitting rock bottom or you're never going to get that love or getting out of this situation, this enslavement of somehow. But you are. You have the strength to do that. You have the divine support to do that. You are a curse breaker. You are not meant to continue these patterns. And for some of you, this is ancestral. Or both. For a lot of you, maybe it's both. For a lot of you, this is ancestral. What do I mean by that? Maybe somebody, I did mention spell word, did I not? Maybe somebody, I don't know why. I always say I don't know why. The divine's putting a message in my mind. Oh my God. I saw this come out and then I put it back. I thought it wanted to come out. So there it is, next to the 5 of Cups of all cards. 5 of Swords in reverse and next to the 5 of Cups. 5 of Swords is about wanting to one-up somebody, deception, wanting to win at all costs, but like in a sleazy, like awful, like a selfish, manipulative way. 5 of Cups energy is sadness, but focusing on spilled milk instead of the 2 cups that are still standing in the back. So that goes hand in hand with the message about seeing things in a different way, making the choice to see things in a different way. We got 555 at the table too, which is all about, and 5, lots of 5s, all about bringing change. It's being called to bring a change here. Whatever there's an energy of that always brings you into some kind of like lack or sadness. And it's cyclical. I just saw a wheel, even though there's no wheel on the table. Damn, and these cards, man. Then and not followed by the 9 of Swords, but we got the Sun card, honey, following it, which is great. It's the light of the divine. The 5 of Cups and the 9 of Swords and the 5 of Swords. Wow, the 9 of Swords is anxiety. That's what I'm saying. I keep seeing like a cyclical energy that brings you back into this anxiety. The 9 of Swords is this anxiety or headaches or overthinking, unable to sleep. You can't figure out, lack of energy, lack of motivation, procrastination. The 9 of Swords is not a nice energy to be in. Okay? Especially with the 5 of Cups. It's melancholy. It's sadness. You might be, it just hits you in waves. You try to be strong and then you feel defeated again, etc. And it happens a lot. Again, even the Sun card in this deck has an image of a child. Okay. So again, even if both messages relate to you, the one about the actual child in the 3D right now and the message about your own inner child, there's definitely healing to be had, that needs to take place. But with the 7 of Cups and the 5 of Swords in reverse underneath it, it's like constantly in a situation of being manipulated. 10 of Cups in reverse with the 5 of Cups underneath it is relationships that are always coming apart, not working out, people always disappointing you. The Queen of Cups upright underneath the 9 of Swords, it's like people that always seem like they're nurturing and caring, and you think they're the one, and boom, you always end up in the 9 of Swords energy with anxiety and all this crap. The 6 of Swords in reverse with the Sun card underneath, however, means then you feel like you can't move on. You keep coming back to this energy, but the Sun's here to move you forward. Okay? For some of you, it's something that keeps happening, replaying in your life, or this has happened in the past. And you know this already with the Sun card. Whenever I see the Sun, not only is it the happiest card in the deck, but it's also the illumination, the light of the divine making something clear to you, right? Oh, crap. And I never noticed. Do you notice that on this, there's a red flag on the play horse, on the rocking horse? What does that mean to me? Like the divine has already showed you what the red flags are to avoid you constantly going, back into these type of situations. So this is in your consciousness already, right? But that doesn't mean that the fact that it is still valid that you still went through all of this so many times. It's still valid. And it still hurts. And yeah, you've healed it, but there are times like it comes in waves that you still go back to that energy and it affects you. Maybe it has put you in a situation where you isolate because you're afraid. And the divine's like inviting you to reopen yourself again. Okay, and allow yourself to receive now. It's time to move forward from this energy. Back to the message that they're saying, I didn't finish that message, saying that, meaning that for some of you it's ancestral, meaning, oh God, there you go. As I was saying that, 3 of Swords. 3 of Swords is heartbreak. The divine is bringing justice to whatever heartbreak that you've had in the past. Healing your heart. Literally, the 3 of Swords is heartbreak, deception. For some of you, it's ancestral. What do I mean by that? It means, and I said, like, this is very specific, but I'm getting a message. Maybe there was a grandmother figure. Somebody did some black magic on your grandmother, or because of the traumatic things that they experienced, they invited some kind of devil energy into their life, like actual entities that have then attached themselves to your bloodline. You know that happens, right? Depending on how extreme their trauma was. You inadvertently open the portal for these lower entities to then stick to your bloodline, and then it keeps trying to follow you. And that's coming up for all of you. And especially because there's the image of like that person with that child over and over again, meaning like that energy was transferred to your mother, which was then transferred, or your father, which was then transferred to you as a baby. And then now if you have children or plan to, it's going to be transferred into, that entity lives with your bloodline. Some of you may have even seen this entity during sleep paralysis when you were a child. Maybe you saw like a shadow people like on a regular basis. That's this entity that invited itself or was invited into your bloodline because of something ancestral that happened, like extreme. Okay. You don't need to be scared of that. However, what do these lower level entities that stick to our bloodlines do? They try to cause turmoil, because they don't live around us to like hurt us. They can't like cause hurt if we are shielded. But no matter how many cleansings you do, no matter how much protection you do, like they're there waiting for you to get down into, whenever your vibration is lowered, they feed off that energy and make that energy like last longer than it should. So I need you to keep that into your keep that in your consciousness, so you could fight that mother effer. So the next time that you see yourself going down into this Nine of Swords, this anxiety energy, or this lack energy, or this sad energy, like try to get yourself out of it. Try, like, do something. Go. You need new tactics to get out of it. Go for a run. Do something that you like. Get your, like, anything, so that they can't feed off of it anymore and be uninvited. And you got to do something separate, differently now. If there are physical people like this Queen of Cups here that are like rejoicing over you being in this Nine of Swords energy, literally, because for some of you, there's definitely a manipulative person. You got to create boundaries. You got to move forward. I know that you're scared, but that, again, the divine got you. Literally, they're going to bring you blessings. They're healing you right now. And I think for a lot of you, look at the Hierophant came out. A lot of you feel like you've done so much healing, and you have, but this energy keeps repeating itself, or it's become something subconscious at this point. Because like you've healed, but then you keep thinking about this person that hurt you. Or you cut yourself off from dating, and you're trying to tell yourself that you're focusing on something else. Oh, I'm focusing on my work. I'm focusing on my job. I'm not until I'm ready, which is all valid. But are you sure you're not just living afraid of experiencing this again? Or on the flip side, are you choosing to be stuck in a situation because you're afraid of moving forward and meeting someone new eventually that will do it again? You can't live like that. Step outside of your comfort zone, even if you feel rock bottom or in lack right now, okay? Because what that's going to do is connect you to your own strength. But that Hierophant card is spiritual awakening, a spiritual teacher. It's things being made right, okay? And healing. I'm being led to read that again. I'm being led to read. I don't know. I usually don't, but I'm being read. I'm being led. Let's see what it says. Turned off the AC and now I'm sweating to death again. It's okay. The Hierophant is related to the High Priestess. Like her, he makes the rules. Unlike her, he doesn't seem to be very kind. He's more of a rules for the sake of rules sort of guy. Rules have served him very well. He's made it to the top of his religious order and has a fancy stone chair. Does he have the wisdom to go along with his strictness? Hard to say. He has the age, certainly, but I have my doubts, as any successful religious order tends toward corruption and favoritism. Oh, shit. I didn't expect to read that from the Hierophant. Number one, that message is confirming. Remember I gave you the message that there's like somebody that, like, they really emphasize the message of like somebody that goes to church and they're like the worst ones? Well, that's your confirmation right there. Okay? The divine is also warning you. The divine is warning you of, for some of you, that was a warning, that when you hit rock bottom, there are going to be spiritual leaders that are actually disguised corrupt devils trying to take advantage of the fact that you're in rock bottom. Dude, everything comes together in my reading one way or another. Because I say it like, I don't know how, like the energy is just flowing. I said that, didn't for whatever reason, but I know it's the energy, even though I don't notice it at the moment. For whatever reason, I brought up a while ago in this reading that there are some, that's another video I have to make, like separate from a reading, that I noticed that YouTube has changed a lot. And there are some, like, with YouTube is bombarded with this devil energy of people that have made channels calling themselves readers, etc. And they're not talking about spirituality. They're not talking about energy. They're not talking about frequencies. They're making channels based on their bondage and attracting people to stay stuck in their bondage. Those readers that you see every single reading is, they're coming back. They're going to call you again. It's like, okay, that can come out in a reading, but every single reading for the past 2 years is the same message. And I noticed, and I'm like, my views have gone significantly down. I get it. I've been away, but even before I went away, right? And then you see people that have like these messages and they have like 100,000 views, right? Or like ridiculous amounts, just based off their like devil energy. Okay, that's crazy that they had me bring that up. And then I said, like, why does divine want? It's like then they put me here to talk about the dark stuff. Well, you know, it might not be popular because some people are not ready to deal with that, but it's the best. Be careful of listening to too many readings like that that keep you stuck in this situation that we're trying to get you to avoid. Okay? I need you to be careful, because what's going to happen is it's keeping you in lack. You're actually meant to move on from this energy, whether you want to hear that or not. Okay? Take romance. Literally, look what comes out. Pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. I got a phone call and my device ended. I mean, it stopped the video, so I'm going to leave it here. It says romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. Hold on. Keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. That's what the divine is talking about. It's getting over these like patterns. You know, they want you to get out of this. I hope this made sense for somebody. I don't know. I know that it did. Love and light.